Hello everyone, this is Brooklyn Mister from the IQ Written Star. You might know us well as the IQ Board. Today, I will host this IQ protective equipment for live shows. Thanks for joining us and watching this. In the last few unforgettable years, um, IQ and all members are grateful and delightful to work with you side by side. Thanks for your sincere trust and support. And now IQ had made a great success and have a number of powerful distributors around the world and to provide our best service and advanced technology to the education and the business conference. And we expect to do more in this year and the next year and the future with you. And providing the IQ wonderful education solution and business comfort solution to the world and create more profits with you. But unfortunately, in the beginning of the 2020, the coronavirus hit us unexpectedly. No one has been prepared, but gladly we have overcome it and in China successfully to some extent. And however, the bad things happened, and the virus has taken first holds around the world, as you can see from the map around the world, and it is still spreading now. And since the coronavirus has no borders, and the only right thing for us to do, for the world to do, is to make concerted efforts. We believe, and all IQ members believe, we can overcome this defeat and defeat this COVID-19 virus together with our joint prevention and control. Now, let's see. IQ written start will to remove, overcome and defeat the COVID-19 virus. IQ aims to work hand in hand with you around the world with small profits as reward. And we want to contribute our strength and wisdom to help you and to providing you the best and reliable IQ protective equipment against the COVID-19. Now, many people will wonder why IQ provided the protective equipment against the COVID-19 now. But I have some thoughts that I want to share with you. The first reason is virus respects no borders, but brings out the best in human nature. So, to everyone's knowledge, the outbreak of COVID-19 has taken footholds in China was fast and for unseen. No one has been prepared well, and especially this terrible disaster happened during the Chinese Spring Festivals in the travel season, which bring the more chances of the disaster of the disease and spreading it so fast. But now we have overcome it and successfully. IQ and all people are thank you for those people who overseas and whoever helped us and who helped us to find the reliable source of mask to defeat this COVID-19. That including our wonderful partners, I mean you. So IQ want to thanks for your support and we want to do the same thing. So to quote a line from the book of the Psalm, you threw a pitch to me, I gave you a wide jet for friendship. So right now, at this critical situation, IQ wanted to do ourselves the best and to provide you the reliable sources of personal protective equipment to get through this disaster together. Now, let's see the second reasons. As far as I know, some foreign enterprise in Chinese and some overseas enterprise like Dell or Chanel are starting to produce the masks and another protective equipment against the COVID-19, even during their low season. So those people, those big companies are doing these kind of things to satisfy the needs of the mask, protecting everyone's safety or to reduce the losses of the economy and save their business. So why don't we? So Here, IQ want to offer you the chance of saving your business and reduce the losses of your business. So we want to contribute our strength and wisdom to offering you the guaranteed resources of the masks. Now let's see the last reason we want to do this, because in this very severe time, there is no lack of the bad guys and frauds are taking advantages of the good people around the world. In the human histories, every time we've encountered the terrible disasters like the SARS or like the earthquakes, there's always some people are making the dirty money and try to squeeze the money and profits from someone who need help, who actually are in a terrible situation. So here we are. IQ want to stand out and to offering you the reliable and guaranteed resources of the mask and another personal protective equipment. We don't want to see anything happen to our lovely customers and partners. We don't want our partners to waste their time and waste their money on those fake things and to get these infections. So here, IQ and all members want to do our best and to get through this difficult situation with you hand in hand and heart to heart. So right now, let's see. We IQ are going to provide you 4 kinds of the types of mask. 3 play disposable civil use mask and 3 play disposable medical masks. And KN95 civil use mask for adults and KN95 civil use mask for child. Before we go into move to the next product, I would like to tell you, if you are interested in all these kind of personal protective equipment, you should enter our website www.iqboard.net. In here, you can see this banner, and you can see the 6 kind of IQ protective equipment against the COVID-19. We have this, the IQ civil medical masks for your safety, and we also have the KN95 civil mask for adults or for kids, and its filtration is about 95% of the particles. And we also will provide you the infrared thermometer. And we also will provide you the best infrared thermal imager and the protective coverall suit and also the safety goggles. If you are interested in any kinds of the personal protective equipment, you can click in here in the inquiry and leave your name, email address, and the phone numbers, and even the requirements in details. So our lovely salesperson will contact you immediately with more details. Now let's get back to our topic. To many people might wonder why mask is so important facing the pandemic of COVID-19. To understand the importance of the mask, we have to understand what is coronavirus. COVID-19 is a type of common disease that infects humans, is typically leading to an upper respiratory infection, which causes you hard to breathe. So this is very terrible. And based on some current studies in the World Health Organization, the COVID-19 virus affects different people in different ways. And people who underline the medical conditions and those who over 60 years old have a higher risk to developing this kind of severe disease and even death. So wearing a mask is not only to protect yourself, but also to protect those vulnerable people. And gladly, according to the World Health Organization, most infected people will recover this kind of disease without requiring special treatment. This is a good thing, but people who have this kind of disease might have some symptoms fever, tiredness, and jaw cough, like this one. And others might have shortness of breath or sore throat and so on. So if you are showing some common symptoms, you should go to the doctors or do the quarantines at your home to keep others safe and keep yourself safe. At this time, there is no special vaccines or treatment for COVID-19 said by the World Health Organization. So we still must to be alert and to be careful about this kind of disease. So we have to stay at home to do the quarantines according to the government's rules and to keep ourselves safe and healthy, to eat a lot of vegetables and do more exercise at home. And now, one thing matters that we should be more careful about is about the virus incubation period is 1 to 40 days, usually about 5 days. So if someone gets sick or be infected, he do not know he is get sick, and he might to pass this disease to next person or to other persons without being knowing. So this is makes this virus so terrible and scary and make the world badly. So at the meanwhile, we should protect ourselves healthy and safer. How does it spread? The transmission route of this virus is very important. According to the World Health Organization and another studies, the COVID-19 spread primarily through the droplets of servers. Just like I'm talking, the droplets were coming out of my mouth. So wearing a mask is very important when you speak to another person. Or the discharge from the nose when the infected people coughs or sneeze. So it is important to wear the mask to keep you and others safe outside. You can see those pictures. So COVID-19 spreads through the air, mainly by coughing, sneezing, and close-person contact through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and even your hands. So it's also important to clean your hands as often as possible with more alcohol-based hand rub. And also, it will be passed on to people by touching an object or surface contaminated with virus, rarely by the fecal contamination. So, why we need to wear the mask? What makes this mask so magical to protect ourselves from this terrible and strong disease? I want to tell you, wearing a mask is not the IRK guarantee that you won't get sick. Virus can also transmit through your eyes, and the very tiny viral particles known as aerosols can penetrate the mask. But said by the World Health Organization, however, the masks are effective at capturing the droplets, which is the main transmission route of the COVID-19. Especially when we go outside, wearing a mask is necessary, and this is the most effective way to protect ourselves from others. And now, what kind of situation we should wear these masks? In those situations, you should wear the mask. First, if you are in close contact with someone infected, a mask can cut the chances of the virus passed on. And second, if you are showing some symptoms of coronavirus or being diagnosed, like you have a fever and you know your body is not so feeling well, so wearing the mask can keep others people safe and also can keep yourself safe, because if you are not feeling well, that means your body is very vulnerable. So at this time, wearing a mask can also protect yourself from other kinds of disease. Third, if you are healthy, you only need to wear the mask are taking care of those people who are suspected with COVID-19. For example, I go to the supermarket, this kind of public areas. Wearing this mask can protect yourself from the others, especially not knowing someone who might affected by this disease, and we can make the transmission rate of the disease and make the rate of the disease to zero. So wearing a mask is a necessary measurement and effective ways to keep people safer and healthier. Now, wearing a mask does not mean you are sick. So it's very important to change our opinion about this mask. Only contrast. This means I respect you, and this wearing the mask can keep you and I safe. So one important thing is I want to share with you is don't be the COVIDed. Stubbornly ignore the personal distance protocols and search further to help the COVID-19 spreading. And don't go to the supermarket to rob something you don't need. And now, IQ has two kinds of certificates, the CE certificates and the FDA certificates, which is normally the certificates of the protective equipment. And to many people, they don't understand what is the CE and the FDA certificates. So I want to explain the CE. The CE is masks are disposable respiratory approved by the European Economic Area for safety and for health and environmental protection standards. Its FFP2, the filter rate at least about 94% of the particles, and it's much like the Chinese GB standards, the KN95. Its filter rates at least about 95% of the particles. And some people in America, the United States, the National Institution of the Occupation Safety and Health grades this respiratory N95 according to its efficiency rate at least 95% of cleared by the Food and Drug Administration. So in China, the KN95 is very important and very effective at capturing those virus. So the KN95 is good enough. Now let's see what's the IQ mask. IQ 3-play disposable medical mask is made of non-woven and melted brown fabric in the middle. As you can see, the melted brown fabric is the main part of this mask. Because of this kind of materials, it can keep the germs, bacteria, and virus outside your bodies, which keep you safe. Now let's see the IQ 3-play disposable single-use masks. It's made of non-woven and melted brown fabric in the middle too. So many people might wonder, what's the difference between the single-use mask and the medical use mask? The main difference has two parts. The first is about time of bacterial blocking. As people to know, the single-use mask has a shorter time of keeping the germs and virus outside your bodies, and the medical one has a longer time to prevent you getting the disease. And the next part is about the blood penetration and aerosols prevention. As to everyone's knowledge, the doctors and nursery are working in the hospitals, and they are taking care of the vulnerable patients. And sometimes you might get the blood on this mask while doing the surgeries or taking care of the patients. So it's very important for the medical level use mask has this kind of functions to keep the blood penetrates these masks. So this is the main difference between the medical use mask and the civil use masks. Now I will show you how to wear these IQ medical masks. First, it's very important to know how to wear a mask and to dispose of it properly. Before we putting on the mask, we have to clean our hands first. Like this one, we use some alcohol-based hand rub and the soap or with water to clean our hands. Make sure there's no germs is staying on our hands. Then take out of IQ or your medical mask like here, flat like this. This is very important to know how to wear it and discuss it correctly. Otherwise, this mask might be the sources of infections. That's because of the virus and the germs might stay on the mask after you use. So, before we wear this mask, find the metal strip on the top of the mask, like here. Touch here, you can feel about the metal strip, and place this metal strip on our nose bridge like this. And now cover the mask around our face, and take the elastic around our ears, and adjust the mask. And make sure there's no gap between our nose, our mouth, and our chin, like this one. Now, to remove, use the mask. Do not use your hand touch on the top, touch the front of the mask, because this is very dangerous to do. Because the virus might stay on the front of a mask. Now, to remove the mask, use your finger to take the elastic off and to dispose this mask and in the coast dustbin immediately. And do not use this mask for several times. And now I will show you the difference between our IQ medical mask and the fake mask. As you can see, on my left hand is the IQ medical mask. On my right hand is the fake mask you might purchase on the market. And now I will use the scissors to cut it into a half. As you can see, the fake mask is very thin, but it also has these three plates. And as you can see, this is very thin. So how could this kind of mask can protect the virus outside your bodies? And now let's take a look of our IQ mask. I'm going to use the scissors to cut in a half. You can see it's very difficult to cut because our material is very thick. You can see we have these three layers. You can see in the middle one is the molten brown fabric. Because of this special material, it can keep the virus outside your body. And now let's take a look of the fake one and ours. As you can see, the fake one is very thin, so our is best. Now let's get back to the next topic. Talk about the KN95 masks. As you can see, this is our IQ KN95 civil mask for adults and for kids. It's made of non-woven and melted brown fabric in the middle, and the color of it is white. So many people will get the wonder about what's the KN95 and what's the civil use mask. As you can see, the KN95 is much better than the normal mask because of its filtration. It can block at least 95% of the particles of virus outside. So this is the main functions of the KN95 and its advantages. Now I will show you how to wear the KN95 mask. Before wearing the mask, we also still need to clean our hands with the alcohol-based hand rub or with soap and with the water to make sure there's no germs or virus stay on our hands. And check out our IQ mask, KN95 mask. On my left hand, this is for the adult. On my right hand, this is for the child. This is the front side. This is the left side. And this you can see for the child is very small, and for the adult is very big. And now to wear this IQKN95 mask, we should find the metal strip on the top of the mask and open it and local this metal strip on our nose bridge like this, and take the elastic around our ears and adjust the mask to cover your face with no gap can see. Okay, to remove while use the mask, do not touch your hands on the front of the mask. And to remove this mask, use your finger to take the elastic off your mask. And to dispose of it correctly and probably in the coast dustbin, and do not use it a second chance. Okay, now let's move on to the next product. This is the IQ infrared forehand thermometers, which is what I hold in my hand. As you can see, this is the infrared body thermometers. And you can see this is the front side of this thermometer, and with this infrared technology, and it can test and measuring your body temperature immediately. And in here, this is the screen, which you can see the temperature on the screen. You can use it to test your waist. So, and also you can use it to test about your forehead. As you can see, my temperature is 37.1 degrees centigrade, which is normal for human bodies. And this is especially used at homes and to look after the babies or the family members. And now, let's see the next incredible IQ infrared thermal imaging systems. With this IQ thermal imaging, and it's made of 3 parts. This is the thermal imaging. It can connect with your computers or use with your hands. And also, this is the smart temperature detecting systems. And also, we have this tripled. So, why do we need this kind of infrared thermal images? Because it can accelerate the speed of body temperature scanning, and it can save a lot of times while we make a temperature scanning about a lot of people. And it has the automatic temperature alarm functions, and it also can lower your labor cost, because with this kind of the infrared thermal imaging, you just need you use one person to look at the screen and to monitor everybody's body's temperature in your office or schools. And it's more safer for the inspectors and with the long distance temperature measurement. Now I will show you how to use it. As you can see, what I hold on my hand is this IQ infrared thermal imaging. As you can see, this is the detector light, and it can monitor and measure your temperature immediately. And you can see this is the screens, and you can see my temperature of my bodies on the screens. Now let's connect it with the computers and see how to use on the computers. First, we have to connect this IQ infrared thermal imaging, and with this cable connect to the computers or our touch screens. We need to open in here and connect this cable to our touch screen open our the thermal analyze software. As you can see, this is the detector's images of the thermal infrared. You can see my hands, the temperature of my hand. Now, before we use it on the public areas, we need to fix this into the at a trigger in here. And make sure the installation of this infrared thermal imaging is stable. And it has this kind of functions, means the setting. We can set the alarm temperature on my screen, you can see. We can make this temperature about 38 degrees centigrade. Then, if someone's temperature is over the 38 degrees centigrade, the machine will make an alarm with a beep sound. Now, as you can see, we are standing here for 1 or 2 seconds. The temperature will show on the touch screen, and my temperature is about 36.7 degrees centigrade. Now, I will show you how to use it on the office buildings or the schools with my colleagues' help. So, as you can see, I let my co-workers walk through it, and it can touch it can show his temperature in here, and you can see this one person is about 36.7 degrees centigrade. And if someone's temperature is over the 38, like my co-workers hold the board order on his hand, you can see the max temperature is about 56.7 degrees centigrade. Thank you for my co-workers' help. So this is how we use this kind of machine in the office building and in all the schools. Now let's get back to see what kind of other occasional that we can use this kind of machine. For example, we can use it in the schools, office buildings, industrial, the supermarket, and any kind of public areas. And you want to, and this machine can help you a lot and accelerate the speed of body temperature, especially when the situation of the COVID-19 is under control. So this is very important when we go back to schools, when people go to work again. This kind of machine is very important to monitor everybody's temperature status and to see someone who might have fever or not, so that the government and can protect everyone's safety, and the people will be more safer even after the situation is under control. Now let's see the next product, the protective coverall suit. And this is our protective coverall suit. I will show you with my models, which is my co-workers' help. Let's welcome my co-workers. As you can see, this is the coverall suit. It's very well sealed. And the main difference between this coverall suit between the isolation suit is about this blue seal stripper. Because with the blue seal strippers, it can cover the joints of the clothes and make sure there's no gap for the virus or the germs or the bacteria to get through these clothes and infect you. So this is very important, and the main functions of this protective coverall suit is it can used in the medical situation. Next product is about the safety goggles. As you can see, my coworkers has wear these goggles, and with these goggles, it can protect the virus outside your bodies, especially protect your eyes from those dirty and germs and bacteria. It cannot penetrate through your eyes. And also our goggles has this kind of belt. It can measure, it can adjust the size of your head. So thanks for my co-workers' help. And Please thank you for watching us today. And if you are interested in any kind of IQ protective equipment against the COVID-19, you can enter our website and leave your name, email address, and your phone number, and in details requirements. And our lovely salesperson will contact you immediately with more details. And why IQ provided this kind of protective equipment softwares, equipments, because IQ and all IQ members are trying to do our best with and contribute our strength and wisdom to help you to get through this terrible disaster together. Because we believe with our help and with your help, everybody can overcome and defeat this COVID-19 successfully by hand to hand and heart to heart. I'm Mr. Brooklyn, the host of IQ Written Stuff. See you next time. Bye bye.